Hello and welcome to my fishing video. Today I'm down a lake that I don't usually fish after catfish and bream. This is the wrong time of year really for catfish. Generally summer, late spring and early autumn is the best time for catfish because they're not a foreign, they are a foreign species to this country. Most catfish live in France and Spain, around that general area, so they're used to warmer climate than here in Britain. Today I've got one rod out, feeder rod for the bream. Got a few taps in that today. And to my left, got two rods out for the catfish. Both on dead bait at the moment, but should catch some live bait a bit later on. I've been here for about an hour now, and like I said, I've had a few taps on the rod. I've had one screamer on the right hand rod of the two catfish rods. Just on half a roach, popped up off the bottom using two poly balls. Popped up about a foot off the bottom. Hopefully later on in the year I'll come down here and fish for a couple of nights, so just have a good long session. So yeah, but anyway, it's been pretty cold today. It's been about 3-4 degrees, and that is a rubbish temperature considering it's been about 7-8 degrees all week before us and yesterday. Last night I got down to about -3, and when I got it this morning, about an hour ago, half the lake was frozen, which wasn't really a good sign, but I managed to find half that wasn't frozen and just a couple of rods out. Anyway, I'll see you when I catch fish. First fish of the day, small bream, taken on the quiver tip on double maggot on the feeder. Right, let's put him back. Probably only about a pound. This is the ground bait I'm using. Sonu Baits Explosion fish meal feeder. I use this a lot in the summer, as you might know, for tench and bream. So as you may guess, it's full of fish meal and trout and halibut pellets. It's ground down to make a really fine ground bait. As the title suggests, when it hits the bottom, either in a compressed ball or in a feeder, it explodes out of it, leaving all the particles scattered around the feeder and the hook bait, and the small maggots and corn and everything else that I've put in the ground bait, also around the hook bait. As I just said, I've added maggots, corn, casters and halibut pellets to the ground bait, just to give it that little bit more edge. And yeah, just to get the fish in the swim and keep them feeding. Although I've only had 2 fish today, or I've had 3 fish including that really small bream, I've been getting a lot of bites on the quiver tip and a lot of line bites and wrap rounds. I just haven't been able to strike on them, but hopefully we'll get another one before we leave. Alright, let's see if we can catch another fish. Into a fish, I think it's a bream, just plodding away down there. Right. There we are, nice little bream. Give me a sec while I land him. There we are, second fish of the day. Another bream. This one a bit bigger, probably about 2 2.5 pounds. Nice fish. Put it back. This is the rig I'm using for the catfish on my left hand rod. I've got a relatively large lead there running on the main line. That then goes down to a dumbbell. Just a very simple piece of plastic rig tube there, and 2 large green polyballs. So that then sits up on the surface like that. I then have a piece of plastic rig tubing that then runs down to a bead that's coating a very strong swivel. That swivel is then tied to about 6 inches of strong mono, strong amnesia line. I've then cut off a small piece of silicone tubing and pushed that over a size 2 hook, just to cover the knot from the catfish's abrasive teeth. Well, when I say teeth, I mean abrasive pads. Pretty much what happens when you cast this in, this comes up to the surface because the line runs through the lead. Then, once you have placed your rod on the bite alarm and everything, sorry, my rod just went off then. Once you've placed the rod on the bite alarm and everything, you reel down the line pulls through that lead and pulls the dumbbell under the water. This then means that you can control the depth that you're fishing the live bait at. Because catfish do like to take their live baits from just underneath the surface rather than on the bottom. Anyway, it's quite a simple rig. Let's just see if it works. This is the rig I'm using on the right hand catfish rod. It's quite simple really. I have 2 high density polyballs that I've just drilled a hole through. In between that I then have my hook link, which is very strong swivel, with a bit of silicone tubing pushed over it, 30-pound amnesia down to a size 2 hook with silicone tubing pushed over the end to protect the knot. That then goes down to a stop and then to a bead coating the swivel, which is again a strong swivel. That then goes down to a 6-pound rotten bottom to a 2.5 ounce lead. The bottom is about a foot and a half long. The polyballs and the hook link run up the line to the stop, which I've also pinched 2 SSG, 2 AA shots on, just to make sure the polyballs stop there. I then have a live bait attached to this size 2 hook, and hopefully that'll do the business. Right, let's cast it. 4th fish of the day. Another small little skimmer. Give a nice bite on the quiver tip. Right, let's unhook her, put her back. There we are, the 5th and final fish of the day. Another nice skimmer, probably about 1.5 to 2 pound. Lovely fish, put up a good fight on the pole. Sorry, not on the pole, I mean on the quiver tip. Anyway, nice fish. Put it back. Session's coming to an end now. It's about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Just put all the stuff away. It's been a good day today. Few fish, no catfish though, maybe next time. Alright, thanks for watching, and tight lines.